Thrashing my arms. That is the name of the game today. Man, what is good, everyone? I think today is going to be a good day for just completely destroying my arms. Not only because I want bigger arms, but because it's going to be a really good practice for channeling energy. Now, what I mean by that is there's something that just happened at work that, I'll let what happened remain anonymous. But long story short, it angered me quite a bit. I got pretty mad, which I usually don't. So it doesn't really matter what the situation is. What matters is that I was pretty angry, and we're not going to let the anger take hold of everything in our life. But what we are going to do is use the energy from the anger and put it right. Good old-fashioned arm workout. Now, I'm talking fully thrashing forearms, triceps, biceps, the works. Now, I think what I'm probably going to start with is something that I usually don't start with. I don't think I've ever started with it on an arm day as far as the mechanism for the exercise I'm doing. So for forearms, I usually do upper forearm, lower forearm with either dumbbells or a cable. And, either way you slice it, it's going to be freaking gnarly. I probably prefer dumbbells just a little bit more because you get, that single side activation, and you really don't, you don't have to think about, all right, I need to hit this part of my forearm a little more, because when you're doing cables, that's a little more of the case, because at least when you're just using a bar. But what I am curious to see is, will like a straight bar, not an easy bar with weights on the side, but a straight bar with preloaded weights on the side, will that make a difference? We'll test out the waters. I'll know once I do it. That's the thing, is it's really hard for me to tell right now how the weight's going to be distributed onto my forearm, so we'll just have to wait and see. But that being said, if it doesn't work out so well, maybe it'll be a good warm-up. I'm a huge advocate of warm-ups nowadays, especially considering the fact that we completely trashed our back last night just from having, pretty extensive warm-up. And that being said, I threw in a few extra movements to the back day last night, but at the same time, that pre-activation or that warm-up before I was doing everything, man, that really gave my back the warmth that it needed so I could really go in. And when I was doing those standing lat pull downs to start with, man, after having a nice warm-up to get into it, dude, I locked in. Like, it was very easy to just feel every single muscle fiber as I was pulling it down. So that being said, warm-ups definitely do have a place, and more the merrier when it comes to training. So if I have a really good warm-up and then 6 working sets after that, I'm probably going to be pretty freaking sore. And it's not even like I'm going for the soreness, I'm just going for activating the entirety of the back, or the entirety of whatever muscle group I'm hitting. And if I have a nice warm-up, that kind of ensures that I'm going to be hitting the muscle group in its entirety. I kind of, like if I don't know, let's take an example. Like if you have like a bent over barbell row, right? When you're doing it, everybody kind of has a different way of doing it, based on whatever their strengths are. So for me, my strength mainly lies in my lats. Like I have a good mid back, But I feel like in those movements where I'm doing some type of row, I lead with my lats because it's a lot easier. Now, going back to the bent over barbell row, if I'm doing that and it's a big compound movement, but then I'm just pulling with my lats, you know, I'm not getting too much mid-back activation. I might get a little, but just not as much as I want. So that being said, having a nice warm-up before, it kind of it not only loosens up my entire muscle group that I'm trying to hit, but it's also, you know, literally, I mean, it's literally warming it up. So it kind of goes past those phases, and it just helps me to feel the entirety of the movement just a little bit more. It's not like I need to, you know, do a few reps, then get locked in, then do my working sets. It's like from the second I start my first set, I'm freaking locked in. So that was a bit of an eye opener, and it's pretty fun to play with. But that being said, Transcendental Meditation's freaking awesome. We actually did our second Transcendental Meditation yesterday in the sauna, and that was extremely relaxing. I don't think I've ever been in a sauna for a long period of time, and by long period of time, I'm talking like more than 10 minutes. I did my full 20-minute meditation in the sauna yesterday, and I was so freaking relaxed, I almost fell asleep, you know, the second I walked in the door when I got to my apartment. So that being said, that was awesome. I really enjoyed the sauna. So I'll probably, whenever I have time, I'm probably going to try to fit in some sauna action, because it definitely has its place, not only for recovery, but also I feel like my lungs were working harder from the heat. So, you know, it kind of put me into a deeper state of relaxation just being in there. So that was pretty cool. But anyways, got a big old arm day today. My guess, 2 forearm movements, 2 tricep movements, 2 bicep movements, all for different parts of each muscle group. So it's gonna be freaking fun. You know, at our home gym, so not too much of a difference today. So yeah, not too much else to say. Let's freaking get after it. Ixnay on the doing the preloaded straight bar, just because I kind of found while I was doing warm-ups, I was just doing a single handle on cables, and I've never done this, but it was freaking amazing as far as just getting the blood flow in there. So, you know, just different modalities for pretty much the same movement. That's why whenever I even write training programs, I leave them pretty open-ended. I never say, you know, only for certain movements I'll say, do this with a dumbbell or do this with a cable. But most of the time, like for instance, sometimes I just put shrugs, and then people can pick like cable, barbell, dumbbells, like whatever you want. So I think that definitely has a time and a place. But for something as vague as this, like upper forearm, lower forearm, man, this freaking works wonders. So we're just doing single arm, or single arm cable, and going freaking crazy on this. But the main thing when I'm thinking about doing this is I'm basically just trying to get my wrist from here to here. So it's just a 90-degree bend. That's it. So I don't need to bend back or anything like that, because that's for the other movement. It's literally just from neutral position all the way up to 90 degrees. So that's what works well for me. And dude, you can definitely feel it pretty much right away with these too. Ooh, these get heavy real quick. Ooh. Ooh. 5, 7, 8, 9. Oh God. 2. Oh. 5. 2. 9. And then for forearms, since you're kind of using one side of your forearm for stability and the other side of your forearm is the main mover, I just get right into it. Like superset doesn't matter too much as far as if you're gonna tire out one muscle group or another too much. So it's kind of my rule of thumb. Two. Let's get heavy real quick as well. 9. 10. 2. Oh yeah. 2. 3. Oh. 8. 9. 10. 2. Oh yeah. All right. Let's get into some hammer curls. Oh my God.
Go for it, right? Nah. I think it's gonna be as fluid as I used to be. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna lose 10 of these bitches.
Oh.
That's whatever that was.
Do the whole damn thing.
No. Oh my. So I can't tell if this is
the 5th or 6th set. So we're just gonna say it's the 5th. Ew. Oh, oh, Jesus. Oh, God. We're just gonna go right into it. Oh! Oh my God. Come here. No. What? It's almost like when I'm doing, especially like a rope kind of curl, I don't really notice this that much on dumbbells, but I almost use like the front of my rib cage or my torso kind of as a launching off point. Like it's almost like you ever use those like arm blasters, you know, kind of loop them around your neck and you just have like a plate across. It's kind of like that, where like your arms are in front of you, but that's the way I find I get the most activation for this particular movement. But that being said, man, these are freaking gnarly. I think, yeah, we got 2 more dolphins and then 1 more of everything, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Notice the same thing, not on the last 2 sets of 10 for the dolphins, but on that last portion when I'm kind of just pushing down to my left, man, I almost use like my torso kind of as launching off point for that, or almost like it keeps my elbows in place so that I can get the most squeeze out of my triceps. So, you know, it's kind of the same concept as with the rope hammer curl, but I don't know. That's just how I feel the best. Going a little bit heavier on this last lift. Not only test my forearm strength, but also the wrist stability. You know, to see if my joints are up to par with everything else. So let's just go through the net. Once you get to those last few sets, but I kind of see that as, you know, a benefit. You know, you're really taxing the tricep, so that is what we're freaking here to do.
One, two, three. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you.
I think it's safe to say that the single arm work that I've been doing just with forearms and then now biceps has been working wonders. Man, I can already feel how sore I am in the middle of each set, so it's a good freaking sign. I mean, and the main thing is that we're just trying to activate each muscle group as much as possible. So that being said, it's a little tough right now because I'm only 2 meals deep, and it's, man, I think it's like 4:30, 4:40, but we're just getting a little hungry. So we only have 3 more rope tricep pushdown, and then we have 2 more rounds of everything. So rope tricep pushdown, preacher curl, and then those deep stretch incline skullcrushers. But yeah, the single arm work is freaking gnarly. I gotta say, just even putting my elbows a little bit farther forward and resting them on the front of my rib cage makes a world of a difference. Now that's gotta be one of the freaking best arm days I've ever had. And I don't say that lightly. It was just, I was in the moment and I could kind of feel out where I wanted to go in terms of, you know, what felt best for long-term results. But that being said, the single arm work and then just throwing in, you know, random pieces of kind of like technique adjustments really helped, you know, just kind of like even verbalizing it to the camera. I mean, that's one thing that could not be overstated enough. It's almost like articulating your thought process and seeing exactly how you can make adjustments for, you know, the best results when you're in the middle of a movement. Like, for example, doing, you know, those hammer curls with the rope, but then you actually, like I was using my torso kind of as leverage. Like, that's a really good thing to keep in mind when I'm doing it. So it's one thing to know it, but then to keep reminding yourself and to actually practice it with every movement, that's a whole other thing. So that being said, it's like I always say, it's one thing to feel it, but let's see how everything looks all put together. All right. Plan now, since I've only had 2 meals, is get a shake down and then have 3 more meals after that shake. But first things first, after the shake, meditate in the sauna, and then we're freaking golden. But anyways, my friends, I am excited for tomorrow, even though I'm still a tiny bit sore from that insane leg day last week. But I'm excited to see the strength gains and then, you know, just what the leg day is going to be like with a proper warm-up. So anyways, I'll see you all for legs tomorrow. Thanks for joining.